Hey Dylan, Kimberly here with Elite Roots Digital. I reached out and spoke with you on Friday and promised a short video giving you a few tips on how to increase your online traffic. And at the end of this video, if you would like any further help with getting more leads, then give me a call. If not, no harm, no foul. Take these tips and use them for yourself. And the first thing I'd like to go over is your website here. Now this is a Google business site I do see. It was the only website I was able to find for you. So as I kind of scroll through, the things that I do like is you've got a call now button, you've got a get quote button, which are great things to have. Another get quote here. You've got your basic hours at least when you're open or closed next, in accordance to the day that it is. I love the quality of the photo that you have here right at the top. Now, and as I scroll down, military discount is a real bonus to me. My husband's retired military, so definitely something I love seeing with companies in the area. As I scroll down, you've got some testimonials and more photos. Photos, photos, photos. I love photos. Now, the biggest thing with photos is how these are saved. Now, and that's something that's really going to give you a bonus. Now, and as we see here, you've just got it saved as a date. Now, and that's something that you can really use to boost your rank within Google, is to actually save every single one of these photos as a keyword. Now, and when I'm talking about keywords, there's a couple of things that kind of go into getting more keywords. Now, and the first thing is going to be just general content on your website. Now, and content is going to be, as we just talked about, the photos on your website, but all of the words on your website as well. Now, and even when I kind of went and kind of looked over at the rest of the pages on your site here, I'm not seeing a whole lot of content overall as far as the words on your site. The more words that you have, the higher that you're going to end up being able to rank within Google. Content is king in Google's eyes. The Google algorithms love content. They love to see like 1,500, 2,000 words on a main page of a website. That's really going to kick you up a notch and get you ranking higher for those keywords that you're able to plug in more with more content. Now, and if I was you, I'd be putting content. So instead of like updates here, I would have, you know, most recent fencing in Des Moines, Iowa. That way you've got fencing in Des Moines, Iowa, a keyword in a title for your page, and then, maybe have it again somewhere down in the rest of the content of your page as well. The more times you can plug in a keyword, the faster it's going to get you ranking up higher for that keyword. Now, when I talk about keywords, we're going to jump over here to your competitor. So Central Iowa Fencing Experts is a pretty top competitor in the area. You see their website here. They've got a fair amount of content on their page. Definitely not the most I've seen, but they've got a lot in comparison to what you've got, especially when you kind of start browsing in some of these back pages of theirs. So if we jump over and see what kind of keywords they're ranking for, we're going to talk a little bit more about this now. So fencing in Des Moines, Iowa, that's a great keyword. Something that definitely would be one I'd recommend having some of those photos I pointed out saved as, having a little bit of that and some content on your page, because they've got a volume of 500 for that keyword. That means that there's 500 times within a given month that someone is searching this particular term, fencing Des Moines, Iowa. So in position number 1, the top position for that keyword, Central Iowa Fencing is getting 103 clicks to their website. So those are potential leads to your website that you're missing out on by not ranking for this keyword, and at least not ranking in position 1. Now, and as you go down in position, so 3, 4, 5, your traffic is going to continue to decrease a little bit from there. But that top position does get around 30% typically of a keyword's volume. So definitely something to focus on as you continue. Now, and as I said, Fencing Des Moines is a great one to have. Now, in Fencing Companies, Des Moines, Iowa, you're missing out on another 300 volume. Fencing Companies in Des Moines, Iowa, instead of just Des Moines, Iowa, I know, so similar, but another 250 you're missing out on there. How many leads could you be gaining if you were to just change the amount of content and the keywords and content that you have on your website? It'd just be beautiful to see how many leads you'd have coming in. Now, and as I continue here, we're going to see, again, I pulled up, so before we were looking at fencing Des Moines, now we're going to look at just fence Des Moines. So again, another 350 for fence companies. Fence company, another 350. Decking and fence, another 100. Des Moines Fence Co., another 90. As you see, there's so many keywords out there that have a lot of volume for the Des Moines area and fencing. It's great to see. Sometimes it's a little hard to find some of these higher volume keywords, so I love finding lots of volume for keywords for small companies like you are. Alright, so the next thing that I'd like to talk to you about is going to be your Google My Business profile. So that's this profile here that would come up in this top section of a search. So I searched fencing Des Moines, which is one of those keyword terms that we just went over that had a search volume of 500. So this is what people are typing into a Google search the most. And it's very buyer intent type of keyword. If someone's searching fencing Des Moines, Iowa, or fencing Des Moines, they're not just kind of looking around. They're looking to purchase either materials, hopefully not just materials, but installation too. So these are people that are looking to buy. They're looking to buy at least something. As we scroll down, this top section, this map section, typically the first 3 here actually get about 40% of that search volume. Now, and we talked earlier that the top position organically, which is this section down here, this is the organic section of a Google search. That top position here is going to get about 30% of your search term, of your search volume. So fencing Des Moines, Iowa, if we switch that around a little bit, fencing Des Moines, Iowa, you're going to see that top spot is Central Iowa Fencing, the company we were just looking at. So definitely, another reason to try and build up your Google My Business profile is because if you can get into that top 3, you're going to get a lot of traffic to your website just through that alone. Now, and if we look at your Google My Business profile, we're going to see here that you're not too bad. You've got a few reviews. You've got 7 Google reviews. You've got areas served. You've got your hours. That is something that I do want to point out. You always want to make sure that across all platforms, even social media platforms, you've got those hours consistent. So, maybe your Facebook page or Instagram or wherever says something different than this, Google's going to see that and go, okay, they're not consistent. I don't want to send people their way. Or even your phone number. Same goes for that. Alright, so the last thing that I'd like to kind of go over for you is going to be kind of building more strength for your website. Right now your UR is at a 15. Now your DR is at a 92, but that is because you're using the Google platform for your website. So I'm skipping over that. This tool doesn't really understand that that's just a Google site, so the strength is, or the Google trust, or the trust with Google, obviously with it being a Google site, the trust with Google is going to be on the higher side for that. But really you want this to be a 1-to-1 ratio. So you want to get your strength to your website up, especially with your trust being as high as it is. And as we see here, your backlinks and referring domain says no data. You don't have any going to your website. Now, a referring domain and a backlink is going to be a link from one website, a referring domain, so from one website linking back to your website. Now, and a referring domain can be even something as simple as just Yelp, Yellow Pages, Angie's List, Home Advisor. Those are all also what we call citations, which are listings of your business in different directories across the web. Those are going to be a little on the weaker side for referring domains and backlinks, but they're still there. They're still going to do a little bit of something. Now, in stronger backlinks that are really going to help build that strength to your website, those are going to be sites that have more relevance to fencing in general. So maybe another fencing company in another state saying, hey, Prestige fencing there in Des Moines is great. Go use them if you're in the area. Or even a news article about fencing in Des Moines and they happen to mention your business is going to be a great backlink to have. If we kind of jump over, and we're going to take a peek at what Central Iowa Fencing has. See here, they've got a UR that's a lot stronger than yours. They've got 26 versus your 15, with a lot of domains and backlinks heading their way, which inevitably gives them a lot more keywords because they probably have a lot more content overall on their site, which I think we talked about just a little bit ago. Alright, so in conclusion, those are kind of the 3 things to really focus on. Build content for your site with keywords. Take your Google My Business and really step it up a notch. Get it, get more reviews. Get your photos, again, even here, saved and geotagged. Get them saved as keywords and get them geotagged so that Google knows what area you're really serving rather than just your area served. And then work on building the strength of your website. Get those referring domains and backlinks. Alright, Dylan, I hope you found this information helpful. If you would like any help with anything that I went over, feel free to give me a call. I'm more than happy to talk more with you about it. And if you would, I would love a little bit of feedback on this video if you would. Alright, thank you again for watching, Dylan. You have a great rest of your day.